Am I the asshole for letting my partner starve? I am a female, 21, came home from work at about 11:37 p.m. tonight and immediately stripped after getting through the door since me and my partner, male 26, have been camping out in the living room with the AC. Came in with him in the game, no biggie tonight. He's typically on the game at this HR because that's when his friends are on. I laid down next to him on my phone and about 10 minutes later asked him if he wanted to watch another episode of Goodbye Earth. And he said all right and got off the game with his friends. Somewhere in between I asked if he could heat up my Chinese food from last night since I have a headache and I'm really tired. He said all right, and I thanked him for that. He started pacing around the house apparently trying to figure out what to eat, and I went around listing around things that could be made like instant noodles or some oatmeal, or he can heat up some leftover frozen meals and just make some rice so he could eat that. I even told him we could use some tin mackerel, cut some onions and peppers together with green seafood mix and put that all together with some condensed tomatoes and have rice with that. He didn't want any of that and went off to put on some clothes. When he came back out into the living room, he asked if it's okay, if he could go and get some noodles from like a gas station to eat. We started light-heartedly joking around with me saying, "Watcha asking me for? You're a grown man with 2 legs, OFC you can. Who gonna stop you?" And he started chuckling with me, but with almost a pleading look. Apparently, he didn't think about eating until I got home, which is most often the case. I told him I don't have money for him to go grab other snacks and drinks. I think it's unnecessary when you can make something to eat. I tell him every time, stop waiting till I get home for you to start trying to get me to make something to eat, or for you to eat something. We have 5 dozen eggs in the fridge and a rice cooker. I also have frozen meat that he could have taken out to cook and eat. He said I was being stingy, and I told him if it weren't for me being stingy, we wouldn't be in the place we're in, and all those car repairs sitting this and last year would have had us fucked. I just took out a loan to get him a used car like 2 months ago. He then went and sat in the couch and sighed, talking about how hungry he is. Mind you, I kept having to reheat my food, BC. He kept taking forever to the point where my takeout tray warped. He asked me to cook for him, and I told him I don't feel like cooking tonight. I told him I could even wash the pots and cook the rice if he'll just make the meat, and he didn't want to do that. He asks me if I'm basically going to let him starve because I won't cook for him, and I said no, you're going to starve yourself because you don't want to make yourself anything to eat when you can. He said that he didn't want to cook, and he told me that he wasn't, and I'm trying to force it, and to basically stop trying. So he went on his phone and was doing his own thing, and I sighed, BC. It's clear he's not going to cook, and I'm not trying to back down and make him use my credit card for BS. Just BC, he don't want to cook when he's gone down my back about not cooking or me letting myself starve and not getting myself something to eat. Or him having to spend money. BC, I won't cook. Yet I can count on my hand how many times he's cooked this year, which he only did because I pleaded and convinced him. So I went to eat my food and watch my other show while he moped. We weren't absent that the TV I had the show paused on said it was shutting down, and I let it. When I went to grab wee water after eating all my food, he got up and went in the room. I went to check on him, and now he's saying he has a headache and light is hurting his eyes. I'm really irritated, and I'm started to feel bad, BC. He's hurt, B. It's annoying that he does this. I tell him how much I'm tired of being the only person cooking, and I'm burnout. Sorry for my long, dragged-out explanation. I'm not good at this, and I'm sure my punctuation is terrible.
Am I the asshole for accidentally hurting my GF? Just to be clear, I'm talking about emotionally hurting. I would never physically hurt a woman. So my GF, 18, has finished school recently and has been planning a lot of vacations abroad. She was with her family 2 weeks ago, which I, 18, was completely fine with. However, it's only as of last week that she flew on vacation with another, 18F, friend of hers. It's important to note that we're 3 months into a relationship, and her friend went through a breakup recently, so they're trying to meet new guys. They've been to a few parties, which I don't really mind. However, she told me how she had to push some guys away. However, and I think you can already tell where this is going, she told me a few days ago they met with a group of guys which they had a bunch of fun talking to. One of the guys was a possible match to her friend, and the other hit on her, but she told him she has a boyfriend. This wouldn't be an issue if they didn't meet yesterday until 3 a.m. Don't get me wrong, I fully trust my GF and know she wouldn't cheat on me. But I don't trust the other guys. She told me how she had a ton of fun talking with them. She really likes talking and getting to know people, and that she even had a really philosophical talk with one of them. I don't know why, but hearing this made me feel horrible. I feel like I'm scared, jealous, and miserable. Now, obviously, I tried talking to her. I explained how I don't trust the other guys, and how it pains me she's too available for them, because I know how young guys work. They don't care she has a boyfriend. They try to make themselves around so they can swoop in if a breakup happens. I told her how I don't mind she talks to guys, but until 3 a.m., it's a lot of hours. I've explained how it destroys me internally is feeling like she needs attention from other guys to make her feel valuable. And she really took that attention part to her heart. And turns out I've hurt her in the process. Now I'm feeling even worse and even more miserable. I don't know if that's what causes my feelings. I know she enjoys meeting new people and talking with them, but I can do nothing but sit and watch from the side like I'm nothing.
Am I the asshole for threatening to break up with my boyfriend for helping his mom? So, before you answer off the bat from the title, let me explain the whole story. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years now, and we both know we want a future together eventually, and we want to soon start building that future. Our goal is to live comfortably in a house with good credit to where we'd be financially stable and comfortable enough to start a family as well. His mother, who is genuinely a sweet lady, but she hasn't had a real job in 10 plus years, is at risk of losing her house due to not making any payments. She brought up the idea of having my boyfriend apply for a loan in order for her to keep her house. At the moment, we are not in a position to add to our expenses, and although she has expressed that she will pay off that loan herself again, she doesn't have any income and hasn't had a good history of paying off her debt. As of right now, she breeds kittens for money, and that hasn't worked in her favor, as people don't support cat breeders, which is valid, but that is her only source of income. My boyfriend told me that he'd be open to getting a loan for her. I expressed to him that I don't feel comfortable with the idea, as I want us to reach our life goal. I feel if he does go through with this, she wouldn't be able to pay off the loan, leaving us to deal with the expense and putting his credit at risk. Yes, there's always my credit too, but I feel our chances would be even better if both of our credits were great, and I want both of us to succeed in this. He doesn't understand how serious credit history is, especially for mid-class income people like us trying to live comfortably. We both can't come to an agreement on this, and I honestly contemplated ending the relationship as I want to be with someone that I can grow and build a future with, and it feels like he is throwing our future away to help his mother. I have no problem with him helping his mother, it's just there are other ways to help than to pull out a loan in his name. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for doing this to my BF and friend? Before jumping into the story, let me make this clear. I was clearly innocent and never imagined things would turn out this way. I'm 20, female, in a happy relationship with my 20-year-old boyfriend. We are high school sweethearts and started dating immediately after I asked him out for a date, which regardless turned into a beautiful relationship very soon. He is the only person who loves me, cares for me unconditionally, and we're so in love. As we were in a relationship, it was obvious to many other people throughout our high school and friends, which did left a lots of evil eye stuff, and we started fighting more often, but things turned out really good after that, as I believe he understood his mistake, and now loves me over than I have ever imagined. Well past to this, we both got admissions in 2 different graduation colleges to complete our studies. We both have different specialization. His college is within the radius of 1 kilometer from our town, and mine is 15 kilometers away from the town. I have to travel a lot and change lots of public transport to just complete my 3 hours of college. It was really hard to be admitted such a college and making friends, as all of them from very good rich families with a background of family businesses, and I'm a single parent child struggling to live life who got admitted into the college under a tuition fee waiver scholarship. I thought I would never make any friends, but luckily I made a bunch of friends, among which 2 male were exceptionally close to me. I have never made a comparison and discrimination between any of my friends. but these to help me through everything and anything. Let's name them Aaron and Vincent. Aaron is quite talkative and interactive, while Vincent is the silent observant. We would talk and call each other frequently. As I live far, it was hard to meet every day or attend college. Soon I started doing jobs for earning a bit money and become independent. My college was against it, but I still did it. And like some kind of angels, both of them helped me through everything. Literally my assignments, my projects, presentations, etc. I have always thanked them and tried my best to show them that how grateful I was to have them with me in this life situation. And as always, they have consoled me, saying that if not us, who will? Which made me believe I have exceptionally kind and good friends. P.S. At this point, anyone from my whole college and friend circle didn't knew about my boyfriend other than my brother. I might be wrong for this, but it was because all of the bad omens I had because of the people in my relationship. I believed it was getting out of my hands, so I decided to tell my brother to let him know by giving him a clue about my relationship unknowingly. Eventually, that didn't work, so I decided with all my will against it to post an Instagram story, which would include me and my boyfriend's pic, YK with the cute music and emojis. And things took a 360 degrees turn instantly that I TBH never imagined would have been the results. He stopped talking to me. The friendship, so deep and good, shattered into nothing within days. No communication, dry replies, no initiating the conversation, ignorance. It all fell upon me. I told this to my brother, who was with me through my rough and tough, and he said, "I knew it all from day one, but I didn't want it to ruin your friendship, as he is the only friend you had, which now feels really bad. I lost a very great friend because of mere innocence of believing it was all out of gesture of friendship. My boyfriend was pretty jealous of him because of him being around and helping me out through everything, but I used to always say, he just my friend, and he is helping out of kindness, but that was because I was put forth to believe it because he would treat everyone in the same way regardless the gender. Am I the asshole for treating both of my friend and boyfriend in such way? For ruining the friendship but not revealing my relationship sooner? And for not believing and listening my boyfriend out of innocence?